Hello, everyone. This is Sean, 1986. I hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. Yes, today's June 5th, and a lot of things that I've been focusing on. I mean, the NBA Finals definitely be one of them. More on that later. I'm going to be doing a video talking about that one. And, of course, the Nintendo Switch 2 release. Don't worry, I'm not worried about that. I'm not really worried about that. But now we just got word that we got some new stuff that just happened. Oh, yes indeed we do. Yes indeed we do. Yes indeed we do. Yeah, so after months and months and months of speculating, after months and months of waiting for him, after months and months of losing our goddamn collective minds, it finally happened. Aaron Rodgers is going to be signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, indeed he do. Yes, indeed he do. Yes, indeed he do. It's just been announced that Aaron Rodgers will be flying down to Pittsburgh tomorrow and will be signing a one-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm reading this off of ESPN. Aaron Rodgers plans to sign with the Steelers, sources said. Four-time MVP quarterbacks come to those who wait. And wait. And wait. Aaron Rodgers plans to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers, sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter, ending months of uncertainty around his future and uniting the future Hall of Famer with a team that desperately needed a quarterback. The news came more than 80 days since the start of free agency and 70 days after Rodgers visited the Steelers. Sources told Schefter that Rodgers plans to fly to Pittsburgh on Friday, which is tomorrow, and join the Steelers ahead of next week's mandatory minicamp. Rodgers emerged as a serious candidate to join the Steelers on the first day of free agency negotiating period in March, but he took a circuitous route to officially becoming a member of the organization. Rodgers has been linked with the Steelers throughout the offseason, especially after Pittsburgh opted to let both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields leave as free agents. Russell Wilson went on to become the quarterback for the New York Giants, while Justin Fields, he went on to become the quarterback for the New York Jets. The Steelers did not use a high draft pick on the quarterback in April and were set to enter their mandatory offseason program with Mason Rudolph as their starter. Rodgers, who is 41, has been a free agent since his split with the New York Jets earlier this offseason. The deal with Pittsburgh sets up a Week 1 showdown between Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets, who will host the Steelers in their season opener. That's right, Week 1, Pittsburgh, New York. The Steelers never wavered in their belief that Rodgers eventually would sign with them, sources told Schefter. Longtime Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin loomed largely throughout the process, and it was a drawing card for Rodgers, according to sources, who added that Tomlin was happy to work with Rodgers' timeline this offseason. After taking a visit to the team's practice facility on March 21st, Rodgers remained in communication with the Steelers while weighing decisions about his future for more than 2 months. I wasn't stringing anyone along. I wasn't holding anyone hostage, Rodgers told the Pat McAfee show in an appearance April 17th. I was honest from the jump about where I was at mentally and some of the constraints I have in my life right now that warranted my attention. I'm open to anything and attached to nothing. Retirement could still be a possibility, but right now my focus has been and will continue to be on my personal life. And that's what I told the coaches. There's still conversations about that are being had. It's all been very honest lines of communication. Rodgers was released by the Jets in March, 1 month after what he later described as a contentious meeting with the new head coach Aaron Glenn and new general manager Darren Morgan. Aaron Glenn, who's the new head coach of the New York Jets, it was the former defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. Rodgers joined the Jets in 2023 after 18 seasons with the Green Bay Packers, where he won a Super Bowl after the 2010 season. After missing nearly his entire first season with the Jets because of a torn Achilles that he suffered in his debut. He suffered it in just 4 snaps. Rodgers started every game last season, but his overall performance was uneven. He passed for 3,897 yards, had 28 touchdowns, both third on the Jets single season record list, but he also had 11 interceptions and finished with a QBR rating of 48.1, 25th out of 32 qualified passers in the NFL. Although I gotta say, managed to rack up 3,000 plus passing yards and 28 touchdowns and only suffer 11 interceptions. That's actually not bad numbers. At least to me it is. The Jets underachieved on offense in 2024, finishing 24th in scoring and went 5-12 as one of the biggest disappointments in the NFL last season. Amidst uncertainty about his future with the Jets, Rodgers met with Glenn and Morgan in New Jersey, where the veteran quarterback said he wasn't shown an ample amount of respect. The Steelers, meanwhile, added to their quarterback room as they waited on Rodgers' decision, reunited with Mason Rudolph after the former third-round pick spent a season with Tennessee. And though the organization remained adamant that Rodgers wouldn't affect its draft plans, the team also bypassed quarterbacks in earlier rounds and waited until the 6th to select Ohio State quarterback Will Howard. While the Steelers constructed their roster and convened in Pittsburgh's South Side practice facility for the start of voluntary off-season workouts, Rodgers held a throwing session in California with new Steelers wide receiver DK Metcalf, who Pittsburgh acquired in a trade with the Seahawks on the eve of free agency. Rodgers also attended the Kentucky Derby party and several mic concerts. While taking questions during one of the concert stops, Rodgers was asked if he would ever play for the Bears. In his answer, Rodgers strongly hinted at an outcome of his impending decision. No, but I believe there's a team that might play in Chicago for a road trip. I don't know, Rodgers said with a grin. The Steelers, of course, will visit the Bears in Week 12. I will be very, very interested to check that one out. Rodgers also had an offer with the Giants, who ultimately pulled out of the mix when they signed Wilson to a one-year, $10.5 million deal March 25th. I remember that. I actually talked about it. Rodgers also engaged in talks with the Vikings, but Minnesota has remained committed to keeping their 2024 first-round pick J.J. McCarthy on track of being the starting quarterback. I'm actually shocked that Rodgers not going the Brett Favre route. You all know how, when Brett Favre was with the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah. News of Rodgers' Steelers agreement improved Pittsburgh odds in the betting market. The Steelers' odds of winning the NFC North went from plus 550 to plus 500 on ESPN's bet on Thursday, which is today, and their odds to make the playoffs has went from a plus 150 to a plus 140. The Steelers also moved to a 3-point favorite on ESPN bet in their season opener against the Jets, after being favored by 2.5 points before the Rodgers news. So basically Aaron Rodgers will be signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, granted, it's only a 1 year. Now, granted, it's only a 1 year deal, and I won't know the deal until tomorrow, but when I do, I'll be sure to let y'all know. Now, this will be interesting because, Aaron Rodgers is 41 and he'll be turning 42 soon. 42 soon. So, we'll definitely see how this will play out, though. Now, will this actually help the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin finally make it past the second round of the playoffs? We're not sure. We'll have to wait and see on that one. And also, he's going to be in the NFC North, and he's going to have to deal with a lot of defenses in the NFC North. We're talking the Cincinnati Bengals. We're talking about the Cleveland Browns. But most of all, the Pittsburgh's most hated rival, the Baltimore Ravens. And knowing the Baltimore's defense, whoo boy. They are now salivating right now, wanting to sack the living shit out of Aaron Rodgers. Same with Myles Garrett with the Browns, man. He's like, oh, so I know Myles Garrett be all like, oh, hey, Aaron Rodgers, I heard about you, man. So you're in our house now. You're in our turf. Wait, you think you're gonna come to Cleveland and think you're gonna survive? I'm gonna bust your ass in half. No diddy. Don't know why I say that, but we'll see. But it will be interesting to see. Of course, people are going to be asking the question, will this move help the Pittsburgh Steelers win their 7th Super Bowl, tying with the GOAT Tom Brady? I'm not sure on that one. We just have to wait to see how this works out. And also, seeing though that Pittsburgh, they got a nice receiver in DK Metcalf, but at the same time, they managed to lose George Pickett with a trade with the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know. Maybe they might make a trade to get Devontae Adams to come over there. I mean, stranger things have happened, man. Stranger things have happened. But we'll definitely see how this plays out. But let me know what y'all think. I always like to hear what your 2 cents on this. As always, be sure to leave a comment, like this video, subscribe to this channel, click notification bells to open an update, share with friends, share with your neighbors, share with others, and that's about it. Until next time, this is Sean 0071986 signing off. Thank you for watching this video. It really means a lot. I'll see you in the next one. Catch you later. Bye-bye! I wonder how the Pittsburgh Steelers fans gonna react to this type of news. I wonder.